Okay, let's do a simple, relatively simple physics simulation with rigid bodies. We're going to make a little bit of a marble run. Thinking I'll make it come from the top, bounce around, go and slide. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do. So I've deleted everything. I'm going to go Shift A, add a cube. I'm going to look at it from the front, and I'm going to press S for scale, Z, and scale it down to about scale. Might move my pointer over here and press scale. Z, easier. Hold down Control, I can snap it. So I'm going to snap it like that. You don't have to. Something like that. Shift A, no, Control A, scale, reset the scale. And then I'm going to edit it. Tab. Now we've got vertices, edges, and faces, but I can also get at them quickly by pressing 1, 2, 3 on my number bar at the top of the keyboard, not the numeric keypad. 3 for faces. Pick that face there. I for inset. I'm going to make a lip around it, so inset like that. Okay, it looks there. Maybe not so big, I don't think. So something like that. Go to my front view, turn on X-ray, and E. I'm going to bring that down. Made like a tray. There are many ways to make a tray. That's one way. Okay, so I made a tray like that. I'm going to use that tray again. I'm going to go Shift D, Z, and bring it up a little bit. But I'm going to edit this one. I want the ball to roll off one of these edges, so I need to get rid of the lip on there. Once again, you could do it multiple ways. Here's how I'm going to do it. So go into edit mode, hit 3, 1, 2, 3, X, and delete faces. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to press 1, go to vertices. Let's see if this works. So from that, oh no, won't get that. Oh, I could muck around with angles. What I'm going to do is turn on this little toggle X-ray. I've selected all those, and I don't like these little sharp edges. So watch what I do now. I'm going to press scale, and then I'm going to press X, scale it there, and then 0. So they should all be aligned, ready for me to hit F for face. I've got a tray like that. Nice. Okay. I would like to, let's see how we want to do this. Okay, G, X, move it over here. I might start about there. And then G, Z. Now I want to use the same tray, right? So instead of doing Shift D, do Alt D. That's the same object. So watch what happens here, actually. If I was to scale that, how about I move it? I'll take this edge. See that? So Shift D makes a duplicate copy, a new object, and Alt D sort of copies the exact object, uses the object again. So if I edit it, it'll edit. I'm going to rotate this one. Rotate, bring the Z axis 180. And then I'm going to go G, X, bring it in here. Now I'm going fast because there's multiple ways to do this. I'm just showing you my way. I'm going to rotate that one down. Maybe type in 15 degrees. Rotate this one. And if I type in 15, it goes the same way. I'm going to hit negative. Both 15 degrees. So ball is going to hit here, roll down there, roll down here. And then, yeah. something here. Let's make a hinge, like a little flappy door thingy. So I'm going to go Shift A, add a cube, scale it on the Z-axis. Maybe I'll zoom in first so I can see the grid. May as well keep it all the same. Z. There we go. So I've got a little black flat platform. Up here. The ball's going to hit there, roll down here. We're going to make this a hinge around something so it looks like kind of natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Shift D, make a duplicate. Then I'm going to press the right button so it stays exactly where it was. And then I'm going to scale it. Now, if I had X-ray on, it might look better. Okay, there we go. Scale it out like that. Then I'm going to edit. You can see the original one in there. 3, pick my face, and then inset in till, I wonder if you can see this. I want to inset in till it's not quite, there's a little bit of a gap. Maybe like that. Then I'm going to go X, delete that face. So I've got a little gap running around here, right? Now I'm in edit mode. I've got my X-ray on. I'm going to pick vertices. I'm going to drag a box around there that should have picked everything. And I'm going to X, vertices. This will be the quickest way to do it. And then A, and extrude. Yeah, like that. Okay, so got a little box like that. That one's gonna hinge. It's gonna roll around. I might move those all up a little bit. Jesus. Out there. Okay, let us add like a little curve thingy there. So I'm going to Shift A, add a circle. Now the circle's laying flat, so I'm going to come over here to the options. I could rotate it, but I'm going to go, instead of world, view. There's my circle. Then let's edit that. I'll tab. Might move it across here so you can see. I'll tab, move it over here. Put a box around there. Get rid of 3/4 of it. X, vertices. Now I'm going to pick all, G and Z, about there. Pick this vertice. E for extrude. X to keep it aligned. And I'm going to bring it out to about there. See, I've got that line there. Anyway, I'm going to press G and move. Actually, I'm going to go like that. So I'm out of edit mode. G, Y. I'm going to move it to about there. Then I'm going to go back in edit mode. A for all, E for extrude. I want it to go straight. I don't want to go all over the place. So I'm going to press Y. And there. Now I want to give that a bit of thickness. So A for everything. Go in. And I'll press E for extrude again. About there. I might shade smooth. My normals on auto smooth. Okay, so got something like that. So the ball's going to hit there, roll down here into my tray. Now, excuse me. I'm going to put a couple of lips on here so the ball doesn't fall off the edge. So go back into edit mode, Control R, put some loop cuts in there. Not this way, but going long ways. I'm going to roll my wheel, 2, and then I'm going to scale those on the Y. If I just scale them normal, it'll go, no good. Y. I'm going to bring them out to just close to the edge, like that. And then I'm going to bring those up a bit. So just the top faces. Press 3 on my keyboard. Go 1. Holding down Shift. I'm going to pick. Oh, I don't want that. You know what? I'm going to turn X-ray off. Don't need that. Let's try it again. 1. Hold down Shift. As we'll do the other side at the same time, so get them the same height. So I picked all those. Don't hold down Alt and pick a face because you don't want the ones underneath picked, okay? I'll extrude those up again, about the same height. Maybe I'll go about there. Okay, so I got a little ledge. Okay. I want to make like a little tray up there. Now, first of all, we go top. I want this GX. I don't want it to hit anything because I'm going to make that come up. So I might even go having a guess where things are going to go at the moment. So ball's going to start up here. I'll roll down there. Roll down there. Going to go through this hinge. You know what? We could get G. See, that's not going to hit there when it goes up. Maybe I'll bring this one up. Okay. Let's do a little box up here. Shift A, cube. You can do whatever you want here. Have fun with it. G, Y. There. And G, X. So I'm going to take all of them actually and move them up so they're just there. Okay, I want this to look like a cat scratching post. So edit, pick the face, inset it a bit. If I have my pointer on it when I inset, it's annoying. So I'm going to do the pointer over here, inset and bring it to something like that. Extrude. I'll go here, extrude. Out there, I want another kind of boxy thing on top. Now I'm going to go Control D, make a copy of that, press the right button, and then scale it out a bit. So I might go top view, scale, and extrude that up. So it looks like another cube. Yeah, I'm sure you can get to that shape in multiple ways. That face I'm going to inset. And I don't want to go through the box, but what I want to do is extrude it in to about there. Okay. Got something like that. Reset scale. Okay, just while I'm at it, I'll reset the scale on everything. Now let's see what I'm going to have the ball roll down here, onto here, into here. That's going to hinge around. It's going to roll down here. Let's see if it comes down there. It might just hit here. I will take this. I'll select it, edit. There. Good. Now, what's passive and what's active? Let's take this one and object and add some rigid body passive to it. So up in object, while it's selected, rigid body passive. Now I'm going to go, that's going to be passive. Hold down shift, that's going to be passive. That's going to be passive. That's going to be passive. And the last one I click is my active, and it's got the settings on it. So I want to go object, rigid body. I'm going to go copy from active. So now when I click on these and go to my rigid body settings, passive, passive, that's going to go up. So don't worry about that. Passive. Okay. Let's do something. Let's go make this hinge. You know what? Before we go, let's make a ball. Shift A, UV sphere. I'm going to scale that in. About right, don't you think? Maybe it could be a bit smaller. Let's see if I go object, active. Let's see what happens. I need to change my mesh. Okay, I'm going to go back. If I come back to this one, like I see it's a convex hull. I want to change it to mesh. And while I'm at it, that one last, I'm going to do the same thing. Copy active. And that would have copied the fact that they are now meshes. Let's have a look what it looks like. Nothing's happened here. I want that to be active in a minute. Okay, stop that, go back to beginning. This one here, I want it to be active object, add active. Now I'm going to add a special type of constraint to that. So select the outside, hold down shift, inside, and then I'm going to go to object, rigid body, and connect. Now that's added an empty. There, you can see this empty constraint. And that constraint, I'm going to change it to a hinge. Let's see what happens now. Oh, I'm going backwards. Nothing. Okay, let's have a look. And now I might want to take this, change the mass to 0.2. Again. That will rotate. Let's have a look. Come back here. Go back to the beginning. Let's rotate this one up. Go to the front view and rotate it 90. See if that fixes. And I might take ball, give it just a little bit more mass. Oh, and change convex hull. Jeez. Not the mesh sphere. And I'm going to need more timeline. 1,000. Okay. Now it'll only calculate to this frame here, 250. So I'm going to go in here to my rigid world and my cache, and I'm going to up that to 1,000. Go back to beginning. Ah, my hinge is working. But move it a bit further. So I want a bit more speed up here. This kind of plops down. So how would I get that? Maybe a bit more angle. That, maybe move it up a little bit. Maybe I could get it going a bit faster. So maybe too fast. Maybe I'll take this. Let's see if I can move that G. I can do the same with this edit. I don't want that to hit, so I'm going to bring it back G, X. It's slow. Oh, I don't want like that. Okay, stop it. Back. G, X. And let's move these up a bit. What happens now? Oh, it went off the edge. So we could, if we want, let's go G, Y. Let's move it down like that. Back to the beginning. Oh, okay. So what's happening there? Let's take this and this. You get G, Y, and move it to sort of thinking to myself as I do it. I don't know who else I'd think to, but anyway. Yeah, that's all right because this hasn't got any properties yet. It's a bit slow though. I want to speed it up a bit. So let's go. Take this one. Or okay. I'm going to move this whole thing, G, Z, X, over here a little bit. Oh, so close. Now, when that hits, the ball comes over here, hits that. I want that to go up and for this to knock a little thing out. But when this comes up, I don't want it to hit that. So what I might do, well, actually, I'm going to bring that up to there, so it won't matter. Maybe I'll take this. Turn my X-ray on. Vertices. G, X. Let's see if that works. Clonk. Hinge lid. It's maybe. What if I took this and rotated a bit like that? Maybe I'll rotate it a bit more. Yeah, that's good. So what? Okay. This one will make active as well. So make that object. Rigid body, add active. Okay. That one there, when the ball lands on it, I want it to go up to here. Now, we haven't talked much about the settings over here, so I'm going to go to a rigid body, that one there. I'm going to shift. I should pick this one first, I think. Hold and shift, pick that one. That's the active one. Then I'll go object, and I'm going to go connect. Put another empty in there. That empty, I want that to be a motor. So that will push it. You watch, that'll push everything away. Before I go any further, let's put in a plane and scale it up 60 and make that plane passive. Okay, now watch what happens. Now I'm going to save because sometimes this save as call it marble machine. Yeah. Now we want that to push this away. It could be the direction this is. I'm going to rotate that by Y 90. I think I know. Okay. Over here, I'm going to put on linear. And I'm going to turn this up 10. I'll just do it 10, 10 to start with. And I'm going to lock this in. So I'm going to come down here, going to lock. I don't want it to be pushed across X and Y. I want to go up the Z axis and I don't want it to rotate. Let's look what happens now. Now I would suggest that this needs to be a little bit more. Target velocity 20. Up. I'll rotate this just a smidge, maybe up that way. Let's see if that works. Nope, nope. Aha. There we go. I got it moving up. It's going a bit fast, so let's move this down a bit. Okay, so I'm playing with this. All you mathematicians and scientists will probably be much better at figuring this stuff out than me. Still too fast? I get 3. I wanted to go up slow. Yeah, okay. 2. Let's have a look here. We've got that working up. That's the motor. This is a hinge. But we don't want this to start until the ball lands in it. Let's have a look. Is the ball going to roll off? I think it does. So let's come down here. So the ball hits. About frame 144. Okay. So let's go to 143. I'll show you what we do to make this not go up until it hits the ball. Okay, we are going to go to our target velocity. We're going to make that 0. And then we're going to insert a keyframe on there. I'll get rid of those keyframes. Delete keyframes. On the keyframe, I'm pretty sure target velocity will do it. So on frame 143, on 0, I'm going to press I. Then we're going to move 1 frame ahead and make that 2 and I. Let's have a look. So now it shouldn't go till it hits frame 144. We can move that around too. Aha. That will be the mass of the ball and the shelf. Okay. So I'm going to up this impulse maybe to 40. Let's see if that. Okay. Now, when it gets to here, I would like the ball not to roll out. So maybe I could sink this tray a bit lower. Let's have a look. Or I could do this. 3 for faces. G, not E, G up a little bit. So a little tray like that. Let's see what happens there now. Is that convex going to make that mesh? Down, rolling on the hinge, rolling on there. It's there. And I would like it to stop when it gets to maybe there. So when it gets to there, I want something to fling out here and hit the ball. You'll see why. Let's do the same thing. We'll go back a frame. We'll go to our empty there, and I'll insert a keyframe there. Now let's go next frame. About one more. Go back one. Make that 0. Our animation. Oh, so because of the mass of the ball, let's take there's my 2 keyframes there. I'm going to bring them forward a bit. Good. So how am I going to flick that ball out? Let's see. Something in here. I'm going to go Shift A. Maybe I was thinking a cube. Let's have a look. Looks like okay. G Z. Let's put that in here. Look like that, you think? Maybe scale it on the X. So when that ball gets there, it's going to pop it out. Put it about there, I think. You can come up with a better way to do it. That's when I want it to hit. So this one here, we're going to make that rigid body active. But this one here, we're going to do something different with. We're going to make this animated. So stop going down. It again. It's there. Okay. So we want this to fly out at that. So we are going to make some keyframes on there. So about here, we're going to go I, location, and maybe make it pop out very fast. So about there. And we're going to go G, Y, and we're going to have it hit like that location. Let's see if this works. Aha. Sorry, but I'm thinking as I go. It's hard to plan this out. Now, obviously, I'm going fast, right? But I want you to try around with a few, play around with a few ideas. Okay, that looks like it, pretty good. Where does the ball go to? Let's have a look. I just want to see where the ball goes. Straight. Okay, that's all right. That's what I want. Okay. Over here, I'm going to build a big tower to knock down. And then maybe I can make... Wonder what should happen to that. Let's see. Does that fall? Not really. It's animated. If I am very careful with my cameras, then this sort of thing I can hide. Because that doesn't look realistic, does it? Anyway, these are the things I would like you to do. It's been around 40 minutes. It's quite a long one. This is, I guess I could go really fast, and I probably, for a lot of you, it probably feels like I've gone very, very fast, right? There was a lot of thinking, a lot of faffing about and shifting things. Things I'd like you to play around with is those constraints, like making a hinge there, making a motor here. So the motor just pushes it away, right? So it just pushes two objects away. One was active, one was passive. So obviously the active one is the one that gets pushed. And then when I selected this, I locked in where it can be pushed. So it can only be pushed up and down the Z axis, okay? Z. And then I put some angles on things and stuff like that. I'm going to save this file, save, and they're going to make another video. And in that video, I'm going to make a tower of sticks, build it right up here, so this flies out there and smashes a big tower of sticks. Sound good? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that video was very wasn't much of me talking you through things. I might make it again and talk through it, but I think if you watch it, you'll kind of be able to figure out what I'm doing there. Obviously, all these shapes I would think you could make quite easily, right? So trays and ramps, the cubes, you saw me inset and extrude. So they're all things that I know you've done, right? So modeling is not a big drama, and you can make them look far more elaborate than me. Then object, rigid body, active and passive, which bits are moving, which are not. I do have a little trouble with getting my empties facing the right direction, but that was pretty straightforward. Try to follow what I've done, and if it didn't work, I rotated it the other direction. With this one, I had a little bit of problem getting the max impulse. That might be useful for someone to read into that. Obviously, I know what velocity is, but I'm not quite sure what max impulse is. But maybe you physics students can work it out. Possibly swap those around if it's not working. And then with this one, when I made that an active, I ticked animated. Animated means I can tell it when and where to start. Well, not when and where to start, but I can move it along and hit things and stuff like that. All right. The other thing was, if I go back here, this one, I animated that by taking the motor, the constraint, and keyframing where I wanted it to be 0 and where I wanted it to be moving. Look down here. Now it will still, little changes will mean it has to recalculate everything. So baking things will probably be useful in the end. Okay, so I'm happy with that at the moment. I'm going to save. And I'm going to upload it. Okay. Do the little 1,000 brick one, and I'll pop another video in to make my tower.